Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome. My name is Katrin, and I am a channel, a medium, and a messenger between worlds, messenger of the spiritual world. And welcome to my very, very newborn YouTube channel. At the moment, I am mostly creating videos in order to connect with the collective that I am here for. And I'm glad that you found this video and maybe you are part of our beautiful collective. Today I want to jump right into the message. The energy I have been picking up on is a little bit pushy still. If this message today resonates, you might want to check out my last two videos, because I can tell that this is mostly it's connected to the energy I've been channeling into over the last few days. And today, I want to go into different streams of energy that are connected with those more general collective energies that are going on. And like I said, if it resonates, you might want to check out the last two videos, because they go more into like the overarching general energies. So what I've been picking up on, and I can tell by my own energy that I am, like I said, a little bit pushy. There's a little bit anxiety mixed in the whole thing. Some kind of nervousness, but yeah, I think anxiety is pretty much the right word. Like I can feel it in my chest. My breath is short, and there's a tightness in my chest. And in connection with this pushing energy, there's something that we feel like has to be done or has to happen, but it does make us feel very uncomfortable. And it's something we, like I said, like we feel the need to do it, but at the same time, it's making us feel anxious, uncomfortable. And somehow it's like the energy feels scattered, like the mental energy feels very scattered. And like we don't really know where to focus on. And that's the reason why I chose to do a specific type of reading today, which will help us focus the energy. Because I can tell that there are so many different streams of energy in there, and I'm picking up on all of them. So it's also for me as a channeler, it's hard to focus. So I decided that I will channel into three main archetypes that are at play here. And when I talk about archetypes, I pretty much mean a certain flavor of energy. And it might very well be that all three archetypes resonate for you. But because the energy is so all over the place right now, I would highly recommend you to focus on one today. And maybe you return to the video at another time and feel into the other two archetypes, or like one at a time, like you decide. Of course, if it feels right for you, you can do all three today. But like I said, I can tell the energy is very scattered. So I would recommend to focus your energy and just do one at a time. So what we are going to do is we will channel into 3 different archetypes that are loud right now. And you can feel into which one intuitively resonates with you the most right now. And you can do that by picking a number, 1, 2, or 3. And you can do that now while I am shuffling the cards. And just pick the number that you are drawn to the most. And what we will also do is we get some advice around that. Okay, the cards are flying all over. Like I said, I can tell by myself. I'm like, whoo. Still a little bit pushy, still a little bit scattered. Okay, I need to focus my energy here. For the first archetype, please. One or the card. This one. Okay. Second. So while I'm shuffling the cards, this gives you enough time to pick your preferred number, 1, 2, or 3. Okay, and we will start with the first. I will mark the timestamps so you can check it out, like the one you resonated with. Like I said, I mean, you can watch the whole video, but you can also return to it another day and rewatch the parts that you didn't watch today. My readings are timeless, so whenever you catch this and resonates with you, that's the perfect time for you. It doesn't matter when that will be. So let's get into the first archetype. Okay, and I'm so not surprised. This archetype has been showing up for me a lot. So the deck is in German. I'm from Germany, so I will, of course, translate it for you. So this is the warrior archetype. And, okay, so the first thing is this energy of, like this pushy, moving forward energy is very much connected to this warrior archetype. That has this strong force of moving forward, moving into battle, feeling the need to fight, and feeling the need to always have your sword drawn. And while this is sometimes a very useful and necessary energy, of course, I can tell by spirit that right now there might be a little bit too much of that fighting energy. Sometimes especially when we have been in this kind of energy for a very long time, maybe I hear hermiting away and like withdrawn into our own castle with those thick walls around us, and we feel the need to have those strong boundaries. And don't get me wrong, boundaries are great, especially for people who are very sensitive, who maybe see themselves as empaths, And also if you maybe have psychic abilities, boundaries are so important. I cannot stress that enough. But you can overdo boundaries. And this is something I've been picking up on a lot lately. This feeling of I always have to fight, I always have to defend myself, I always have to reinforce my boundaries, my fortification, really. And this leads to an energy of like pushing everyone away and not letting anybody into our castle. And this is maybe a supposedly safe environment or existence, but it's also very lonely. And so what they are drawing me to now is that usually we see the warrior, we connect it with a masculine archetype, but here the warrior is feminine. It's a warrioress. And this is also something I've been picking up on and really seeing in my own work that I've been doing over the last few days mostly, that there is this rebalancing of masculine and feminine energies, and that I discovered feminine parts inside of myself, and I had some soul retrievals that I was working on, and those were feminine parts that I would have associated with masculine energy, but they were feminine inside of me. So that's something for someone out there, that maybe you might want to look at certain beliefs that you have about maybe your masculine and feminine energy, about certain parts inside of you that you associate with masculine and feminine energy, and that maybe, I mean, there are always two sides of everything. Every archetype has a dual nature, and this is something where you might want to play with, where you might want to look into. Like the warrior that has a female nature to it. And I mean, there are many female war goddesses out there. Okay, that might be something someone might want to look into. War goddesses, they are pretty loud right now. Okay, so let's see what... yeah, so you really might want to check out the reading. Like, I think it was the video, like not the last one, but the one before that. This card also showed up in this video, and it's called Flexible. So this is speaking to what I've just been elaborating about, the fluidity between masculine and feminine stereotypes, and how we tend to put certain aspects of ourselves into certain boxes, and we label it with masculine, feminine, but to allow those boxes, those archetypes that are active inside of us, be more flexible, more fluid. And okay, yeah, I hear change of perspective. It might be very valuable and helpful for you right now to gain a different perspective. Okay, that's interesting. So, sorry, they're saying that Because this is what's been coming through also. This topic of like gaining a different perspective, looking at something from a different angle. And that's easier said than done, right? So what you might want to do is that maybe you recognize certain parts inside of yourself that you might want to work with, or you feel like I have to work with those. And it might be helpful to look at those parts from a totally different angle. Like, for example, if you can tell that there is like this warrior energy active in your life, that you don't look at it from the perspective of what we usually look at it, like the masculine warrior type, but that you look at it from its opposite, like the feminine warrior type. And this is just an example. Yeah. Like the duality of things is very important here right now. That you might gain a different perspective, or it's going to be easier for you to see the whole picture by looking at the counterpart. Look at the counterpart. Okay. I feel like this is already pretty clear, but I'm still gonna draw a few tarot cards, and then we will move on to the next one. I have some more advice, Spirit. Okay, so we do have the Tower card, and then we have 3 of Vessels and 9 of Coins. Focus. So the Tower brings me back to the warrior energy. Okay, so what this is drawing me to is that this is like, this building structure that looks pretty solid, but it's under attack. And okay, that's interesting. So the person that's sitting inside this tower and looking outside and seeing like all those lightnings attacking it, and it feels like that's where the danger is coming from. But what the person sitting inside this castle, this tower, doesn't realize is that actually what's even more dangerous is that the foundation is crumbling. So sometimes we think, and that's very much tied in with the warrior energy, sometimes we think that we have to fight something, but that's actually not the thing that's really threatening us. The thing that's actually is it even a threat? It's not. It's not a threat. We perceive something as a threat. But what we don't see is that actually something else is happening under the surface. But we are so focused on battling that thing outside of us that we overlook what's actually happening, and that is that something beneath the surface is breaking apart. And the tower, I know people usually don't like it. They don't like it when it's showing up because they associate it with pain and chaos. And yes, of course, tower moments can be quite challenging, but when you learn to embrace the tower moments of your life and you see them as something that's happening for you, not to you, you can learn to work with them. And you can learn that every time something burns to the ground, it happens for a reason, and that you can rebuild something even better from the ashes. But you can make the tower moment less there it is again, the word threatening. Less threatening, less it's going to I don't want to say that it's not going to be uncomfortable, but you can ease it, like you can ease the energy a little bit when you don't resist it that much. And like the other two cards, they're very positive cards. 3 of Vessels and the 9 of Coins. So this is talking about abundance. This is talking about, like I just said, like something is regrowing from the ashes. And we all know that soil that has been like volcano soil, it's very nurturing. It's like you can grow beautiful plants from volcano. And I'm just sorry, I was just zoning out for a second there because I was looking outside my window and it's snowing a little bit, and those like the little snowflakes, they were like dancing around, and they looked like ash from a volcano. So there's something about this tower moment and this eruption of like a volcano, but although it's going to destroy something even bigger and better is going to grow from that. But to be honest, I'm not even sure if this eruption has to occur. I'm not. Well, okay. Moving on. The 3 of Vessels is very much a card of community. Oh, okay. This volcano I was just talking about, there might be some connections in your life that will I don't want to say blow up because okay, Spirit, can you please? Okay, so now I was drawn to my candles that are lit here. So there is something that has to burn away. The question is, do you let it? Okay, do you let it burn away and it will smoothly or as smoothly as possible leave your life? If you resist, it will blow up. And that too is something that came up in the reading like 2 videos ago. You might want to check that out. But there is new community coming in. If you allow it to burn away, something new will come in, new community will come in, and it will be so much more fruitful. Like, look at all those grapes in this picture. It will be so much sweeter, I just heard. And there are butterflies flying around and little stars twinkling. So there's something good coming in, but you need to drop the sword. You need to work with this warrior energy and release it. All right, so that was pretty long. Moving on to the second archetype, and let's see what's going on here. All right, so this is the inner child. Yeah. Also not surprising, I've been feeling this as well. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. There is some inner child work that you're doing or asked to do right now. Okay. This one is, I'm drawn to that, whatever it is she's holding in her hand, but it looks like a wand. It looks like something magical. And the inner child is, like we all know, it's playful and it wants to believe in magic. It wants to believe in, like, the moment I'm recording this, it's shortly after Christmas. So what better time than Christmas for children wanting to believe in something like Santa Claus, angels, and also as an adult, many people are watching Christmas movies, and like here in Germany, we have all those beautiful Christmas markets, and we are meeting with friends, and everything is decorated, and there are lights everywhere, and it's just a beautiful time of year, and everybody's talking about how magical it is. So, we could say that, like, for example, let's take a Christmas movie, that they are overly romanticizing and painting this picture of Christmas and peace and harmony and love and whatever, that many people feel is very unrealistic. But at the same time, people are still watching it, and they somehow want to believe that something like this might be possible. And what really is happening is that our inner child is indulging in this maybe over-romanticized Christmas spirit, but nonetheless, it's a good feeling. And of course, there are people out there who resent that, and that actually caters to the same topic, because you can, like, it's the same energy. It's this wanting of that something like magic exists, and the inner child that wants that something like that exists, but either you fully embrace it and indulge in, like, full-blown Christmas movies, and, like I said, going to the Christmas markets and just fully embracing the Christmas spirit, or you resent it. But that's actually just a different reaction to the same stream of energy that's beneath the surface. And that is this wanting to believe in magic. And it doesn't matter, like I said, right now it's Christmas. This is why I am talking about this topic, because it's coming through like that. But it doesn't even matter if you're watching this in August or whenever. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. And you can look inside your life for topics where you are maybe either resenting or overindulging in things that make you believe in something that might feel unrealistic or over-romanticizing, But this is like, it wants to show you something, like your inner child wants to show you something, that you have the need for the magic in your life. There you go. The card, the oracle card is Treasure Island. Like, you're looking for this treasure. You're looking for, like, this idea of treasure hunting and finding something that's so unlikely, but at the same time magical, and like pirates hunting for a treasure. And the idea of, we're gonna find this hidden treasure. And there's this theme of wanting to believe that something like magic, something that seems completely unrealistic, actually exists. Let's get some tarot cards with that. Okay, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. There you go. Nothing is happening. It feels like you're waiting for something, but it's not happening. Or it's taking its time. Breadcrumbing. Okay. All right. So you're waiting for something. You're waiting for something to happen. And the thing is, the thing you're waiting for, it's ready. It wants to come through, but are you ready to receive it? Because what we do have is we have the 6 of coins and we have the 4 of vessels. And focus. Sorry, I'm always having a hard time now for this to focus. So the 6 of vessels is talking about balancing out energy, and that there always has to be like an equal amount of giving and taking. So if you're putting out energy, at some point you have to receive some energy too. But the 4 of vessels is talking about that you're not able to receive something is blocking you from receiving it. Because the nurturer, which is the Empress in this deck, is all about being open and able to receive. I'm wondering, because I was talking about like this inner child and how it wants to experience magic. It wants to believe that something like magic is real and that it can happen. And I was talking about resenting this kind of energy. So maybe you are resenting it. Maybe you are pushing it away, and at the same time subconsciously you actually are longing for it. But you might be telling yourself that it's not realistic, or it's not happening for you, or this is just something that's in silly rom-coms or books, or something a little child would believe. But what you're actually doing is you are overriding your own inner child that wants to believe that something like that is possible. I'm not sure if this is the whole message. Is there something more? Okay, they're showing me, like they're drawing me to this turtle that's carrying the treasure on its back. And this is speaking to me about how we like to externalize the things that we are wishing for without realizing that we're actually, like the turtle, it's carrying the treasure on its back, but it's not able to see it because it's swimming and it cannot turn its head and look at its back. So it's not able to see what's actually already up there. Okay. Like I said before, it's already there. It's ready to come in. But either you're too busy, like with swimming, doing the hard work, so that you're not able to see what's actually ready to come in. Or okay, so now I'm drawn to the pearl inside the shell. Yeah, I'm getting something about this, like this hard shell. And this connects a little bit with the first message. If you haven't watched it, you might want to check that out. It's about the warrior spirit. So I feel like those might be connected. Okay, so I think that's it. That's it. You might want to connect with your inner child, however you do that. And you might want to check out where you maybe resent those kind of energies, where you are pushing your dreams or overriding the dreams that your inner child has, and where you are too busy living this grown-up life. But at the same time, your inner child is longing for something. Maybe even I hear the word pining for something, and you're just like brushing it off, and not allowing it to come in, but it's actually waiting for you. All right, moving on to the next archetype, which is the artist. Beautiful. The artist. So this one also gives me some dreamy vibes. If you haven't watched the two archetypes before, the second one is about the inner child and how the inner child is looking for magic in its life. And this feels connected for me. Although it's like it's a different angle. It's a different point of view and a little bit more grown-up energy. There's still this sense of dreaminess about this card, and it's It very much reminds me of like early 19th century Rococo, Baroque, romantic paintings, where they were also looking for like the sweet side of life. They were looking for, especially in Rococo, this is like jumping out to me right now. Where especially women were like they were wearing those nice dresses. They had those rosy cheeks and almost like a very juvenile, a very childish, not childish, childlike appearance about them, with like a lot of roses and ruffles and pink and white. And so there's a very lovely energy about those like paintings. So what I'm drawn to is that the Oracle card is the observer. And this fox, and by the way, the fox was in the message like 2 videos ago, a reading. There was something about a fox. But this fox is observing the moon. And what she is holding in her hand here, she isn't holding it. I'm not even sure what it is, but there is this glowing, see that? Looks like the moon to me. I'm sorry, it's not focusing properly. Yeah, it looks like the moon to me. It's like almost floating in midair before her. And she has this absent-minded look in her face. Like she is observing something, but something that's not there. Like something in her mind, something in her imagination. She's observing something in her imagination. So she's envisioning something. And it brings me back to this, what I talked about, like this those art styles of the 19th century that were mostly about romanticizing life, really. And I don't mean that in a negative way. More like wanting to believe in something that's full of love and full of life and celebrating beauty in life. Okay, so let's get a few tarot cards to get it. It feels very dreamy, and it's hard to for me right now, it's hard to how do you say, pin it down, which kind of fits the energy, I'd say. It's completely different to the first one, because the first one was about the warrior, and now this one is so dreamy and so yeah, right. The first one was about like their boundaries that are too strong. This one feels like very much Pisces energy, very much like this merging and floating and Wow, okay. So there are two huge major arcana cards coming out. Death and the Star. And what I'm immediately drawn to is how, like the Star card, it's this vessel and there is this liquid pouring out. And here this, right now, it looks to me like a stream. So it's about emotion, which fits with the artist archetype. They came out in reverse. So there's some leakage of energy. Your energy is now they're showing me like a watercolor painting, where like when the paint, when you pre-wet the page and then you add watercolor to the page, the color will move in a very unpredictable way above the page, which is beautiful, and it's a desired effect in painting with watercolors. But it's not the best way to paint if you have something very specific in mind and you want that specific, like if you want to create something very, very specific, that's not the way to do it. Because there's always the danger of like the colors bleeding out and merging into each other. And like I said, it can be a beautiful effect if you're going for that, but it's not the best thing to do if you want to create something very distinct. Like if you have a clear vision, you want to create that, watercolor is not the way to go, at least not with that kind of technique. So it seems like you are in some kind of death and rebirth process, and the star is usually the time after the tower, after something has broken down and you are like in this moment of rebirth, but not quite like in the action part, but more in the healing part. Like you're still, like the dust is settling after the tower broke down and you are in this moment of integration. And Spirit is saying right now that it's important in this moment of integration to be careful not to get lost in your dreams and that you're leaking out energy because you need this energy for yourself, because you are about to build something for your own. You are about to create something great, but be careful not to lose yourself in dreams. And so they're bringing you back to this watercolor image that while it can be beautiful, it's not always the best thing to do. Like, it's not always the best technique. It depends on what you're aiming for. And it seems like right now you're actually aiming for something that needs a little bit more structure and some more refined boundaries. And you have to be careful right now not to like let your energy just float freely, because what you're doing is you're losing very, very valuable energy that you actually need in order to build what you want to build. And the third card that came out was the Four of Coins, and this speaks to me about grounding. Like you want to build something, but you have to be careful because you have this beautiful, don't get me wrong, this beautiful ability to dream and to envision things. And that's such a great skill. It is, because so many people out there are not able to do that. And please don't lose it. But everything in its how do you say? In its right time and right measure. And the Four of Pentacles, like the Pentacles are very down to earth. They are very much about 3D physical things, tangible things that you can grasp, that you can hold on to, you can touch, you can feel. And the Four is about structure. The Four is very much about containment and solid structures. So I think you are called to focus more on solid structures right now, to contain all this beautiful energy that you have, in order to not leak it out, but so that you can grow something from it, that you can use this beautiful energy that you have, and not lose it just like somewhere in the ether, but so that you can use it for yourself, so that you can channel it into something that actually helps you grow what you want to grow, not just in your imagination, but really in the physical. And it's time to do that. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. And yeah, that's it. Wow, that's a very, very long video, but I mean, it's 3 different messages in one video. So thanks for watching. And if you like the video, feel free to subscribe, like it, or maybe comment. And yeah, thanks for watching. And maybe see you in the next one. Bye.